Hey everybody, so I've had a busy week with firewood this week. My utes come back from the mechanics. I've been madly delivering firewood but also getting quite a bit done in the garden. I've been playing on my little tractor a bit, so to see what's been going on with that, we'll go ahead and let's get growing and have a look. Okie dokie, so we've got a bit of chook manure in here on top of the sand, and I have a bit more in the bucket of the tractor ready to go. And I've been out this afternoon to a friend's place and been in under their shearing shed with a shovel, and I have a trailer load of sheep manure. Now, sheep manure is one of the best manures in the garden. It's the friendliest. It really can be used fresh. You do run the risk of a few weeds with sheep, but most of the weeds are pretty innocuous. So this will go straight in on top of the sheep manure, and that'll be what I plant into. Now this friend has, I was discussing what I was doing, and he made some vague threats about not telling his wife what I was doing and stuff like that. So I'm going to honour that. I won't tell his wife. If she happens to come across a link to the YouTube channel so she can see what I've done, that's not telling him, is it? Not telling her, I mean. If I was to accidentally send her a link, I'm sure that'd be fine. Okay, so we'll get on with getting this bed ready to seed into. Bit of chook poo this time, and then I'll put some sheep poo in on top of it. Okay, so that's bed 4 filled, ready to go. I'll put some water on it and I'll let it settle for a few days, just keeping it wet. And I'll run my little cultivator through it a few times just to break the top down a bit. And then I've got to decide what I'm going to plant in there, I suppose. I'm thinking I'll probably put some more carrots in there, possibly some Swedes, more beetroot, because we use quite a bit of beetroot through the summer, so that'll be coming in and I can work on doing some pickling there. And I have a 5th bed on the way, ready, being lined at the moment, so I should be able to start that through the week this week, although I do have a pretty busy week. So the leftovers in the trailer, which I didn't use very much of what's in there, I'm going to put it over in the 3rd bay of the compost over there, ready for future use. Work smarter, not harder, folks. So that's the easy way to get it off. There we go, almost all off. That'll be very handy just to use from there, and I might add a little bit of it into the compost bays next door just to spice them up a bit. Good old sheep manure, gotta love it. So the bean bed is ticking away, the 4 surviving beans, and this one's not quite dead yet. Well, they're probably both not quite dead yet, but I don't think they're going to survive. So these are butter beans, watering them with rainwater. And hopefully I'll get a crop off them this year, which will be the first time I have successfully grown beans here. And it's only because I've got them in a raised bed and I'm using rainwater. I've now planted a couple of rows of radishes in the middle there to succession plant my radishes from over there. And then the peas, the 4 peas, they're starting to come away and they're starting to look for something to climb on. So I'm going to have to put a bit of a trellis around the outside of that for them to climb up on. And I've also planted some radishes in through the middle here, because I'm enjoying having a munch on a radish when I come out in the morning. So the sheep are still ticking away over there quite happily, but they're pushing through a little fence on the other side to get some better feed. Still having the beans, so they'll be moving hopefully this week into the back paddock, providing I can get my fence fixed. I have another spud box painted and partially lined ready to go, so my aim is to finish filling the box that I've part filled, get another box down which will probably go about here somewhere, or maybe even bring it over closer here and do it with a rainwater job. I've also got some sheep manure coming hopefully this week if everything goes to plan. So that's the garden update for this week. Thank you for coming along and having a little look in my garden, and I will see you next time. Okay, so these two little broccoli heads are starting to push a few little flowers out. So although they're tiny, it's about the size of a tennis ball, both of those, I think I've got to harvest them. They might be for dinner tonight, perhaps. Quite tasty, I'm sure. So these ones aren't pushing flowers yet, but a little harvest is better than no harvest. So I've harvested these. There are some little secondary florets coming away in there, so I'm going to leave the plants in and just see what happens there. They might get some little broccolini type things to harvest as well, so I might get a little bit more off them yet. This is bed 4 completed. What have we got? We've got wood, we've got bean straw, we've got filling soil, we've got chook manure, and then right on top we've got sheep manure. So this video is running a bit late. I normally would have had, it's Friday today, I normally would have had a video out Monday. So the cat's now playing around with the tripod if you're moving a bit. So I'm going to plant this. This video will probably now come out next Monday, so I'll just skip a week. Sorry about that if you've been following along and keeping up, but life gets in the way sometimes and you get busy. So I'm going to plant into this bed now. I'm going to plant some collies, which I have. So I've been to the big green shed. I've got a 4-pack with 2 plants in each pack, and I'm going to plant some giant Russian garlic in amongst them. So mostly I'm going to plant to the left, which will be the southern side of the bed, and then that'll leave the northern end for something else a little bit later. I also went yesterday to someone who was trying to get rid of some wood and picked up 4 pallet collars, which will, I think, make very nice potato beds. So that's just a couple of silverbeet plants over the other side to fill in the little gap. So we've got 8 cauliflowers. So basically done half the bed, 8 cauliflowers, a couple of silverbeet and 2 giant Russian garlic. The other part of the bed, I have some leeks, I might put some leeks in there. And I also bought just some cloves of garlic from the supermarket. So I may plant them down that row and down that row just to see how they go. Just a little experiment. It's starting to rain, so I'm either going to get wet or go inside. G'day everybody, welcome to the garden. Having a look at my sad little fig tree. but it's okay. It's almost autumn, so the fig trees are all losing their leaves. Let's have a look at the garden update. Let's get growing. So we've got Sammy and Lexi here supervising while I do the video. So this little bed here is going all right now. We've got the onion seedlings I planted. There's a row of onions down here, and I reckon we're just starting. So what I've got is some pallet collars. So this one sitting on top is a little bit bigger, and then there's 4 the same size. So my plan is I've got 3 varieties of potatoes to plant. So I'm going to make them my potato beds. So the larger one will be a single layer, and I'll put potatoes in. So underneath them, this is some weather damaged lucerne hay from a neighbour. So I'll put the cardboard down, put the pallet box on top of the cardboard, a layer of lucerne hay, put the spuds on that, and then top the box up with sheep manure, and that will be the single layer box with potatoes. And then I'll do the same for the other box, the other boxes, but I will do them double height. So I'll do the hay, the sheep manure, but then as the potato plants come through, I'll continue to layer sheep manure up in there, or maybe a layer of straw and sheep manure. I'm not sure what I'll do yet. I might do a box of each, put a lasagna type setup, and hopefully we'll get some nice spuds towards the end of the season in spring. I'm here by the pea and bean bed. So over here you've got the sprayer, and in front of the sprayer there's a post. So in that area over there is where I'm going to put the potatoes. So let's have a look. So the beans they're going along very nicely, the 4 surviving plants. The radishes are coming up in the middle, which is probably a little bit late putting them in for true succession planting. I'll probably finish eating the ones over there before any of these are ready. Peas are still looking very nice. This is looking a little bit tight, but got a flower on that one already, and we've got some pods on this one. So, which I wasn't expecting to see, and some radishes in the middle here. But I do need to get a little trellis here for these to grow up on, and that will be the project for later on this week, is to get that trellis up. I have another bed almost ready to fill, So you'll see what I've planted in bed number 4 over here, which is the blue one. I've got half a bed there still to plant. I'm not sure what I'll put in there yet. I have some leeks which I'm going to pot on into other pots to let them grow a bit bigger before I plant them out. And then I guess I'll need to start on getting another bed ready so that I can keep planting. So I want to set my beds up out here so I've got room to get the tractor in between them, or even to drive a truck through if I needed to, from the gate over here and to come straight back through this way. So the next line of beds will probably be somewhere from where this little patch of dry grass where I've sprayed some onion weed, and head across towards the compost bays over there. And then I'll do another row directly, almost abutting them on this side, but with walking room in between, because then I'll be able to access from this side with the tractor. And then I can do that again up here, and I can have a nice, quite a few little open raised beds. I can access them all to put manure in or whatever out of the tractor bucket, because I'm lazy and old and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, thanks for coming along and having a look at my garden this week. This is 10 days, so I reckon I'll probably do the next video in 10 days time again, or 11 days time, which will be putting me back on track. So thanks for coming and having a look. Hit the like, give me a sub if you like, share it round, and have a good week.